Hey everybody, like we had talked about previously, I was waiting to get a better grip on where we were at with being able to connect over the Wi-Fi in the room, but we're kind of getting to the end. So here is how we do this in Unreal for those of you that haven't done it yet. I'm going to run through this video real quick. So I'm using 5.6.1, which I believe is the current version. This should work on most other versions. There might be a couple changes, but this I know works because I just tested it. So I'm going to go ahead and launch this. I might pause this video a few times just so you don't have to watch certain things. So I'm going to pause this until it opens up. All right, so once it finally opens up, we're going to go in here. We'll do our games. We're going to do a third person for this one. For that, I'm going to throw this into that folder. That's fine. You can put it where you want. We'll just call this for now multiplayer test. Blueprints. That's all fine. That's all fine. Perfect. We're going to get create. This goes quick. I won't pause this. I'll see you when it boots up. All right, so when we open up, this is what we got, right? Just a sample scene. If we hit play, right, we've got our gameplay here. Now we obviously want it to be multiplayer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first make a lobby in which the players can join the game. So in our content folder, let's put it into let's just put it in level prototyping. Why not? I'm going to create a folder. We'll call it maps. Just a little bit so you can see it. And then in our maps folder, let's go ahead. We'll right click. And then we're gonna do level, and we're gonna rename this to lobby map. Bam, just like that. And then we're going to click on our edit, project settings. And here we're gonna click on maps and modes. And then editor starting map is going to be the lobby map we just created. So startup map, and then the game default map is going to be lobby map. We'll still use our level. That's where we'll load into, but once we log in and join the multiplayer game, but everybody's going to start in their lobby map. So once we have this, we can close the project settings. And then let's double click on to the lobby map, open that up. Sure, we can save it, doesn't matter. So it's just gonna look like a black screen for now. We've got to build this all out. We're going to then in our third person folder in the content, we're going to go ahead and in blueprints, let's right click and we're going to do a new blueprint class, and we're going to make it of the type character, and we're going to call this BP for blueprint lobby character. Got to have a character to be able to interact here. And then we're going to also create a game mode base. And so we're going to, let's see, blueprint, and then game mode base. And we're going to rename this one to lobby game mode. All right. So from here, we need to open up our world settings. So over here under the outliner and our details, we'll click on world settings. And then we're going to, in game mode, we want to have our lobby game mode. And then we're going to expand. In selected game mode, we want to, for the default pawn class, we want to now set this to short quick it BP, and we want our lobby character. So lobby game mode, in the game mode, selected game mode, default pawn class, BP lobby character. All right, let's save this. And then let's open up our lobby character. Just gonna dock this up here. We're going to then go over to our event graph eventually. And then from event begin play, which is we have here, we're gonna drag off and create widget. We need to create the widgets or UI that we're going to use to build this. So we're going to drag that off. This is going to have errors until later down the road when we actually build the widget, and that's perfectly good. We're just getting the framework for this set up. And then from return value, we're going to drag off add to viewport. That needs to add it, the widget or UI to the screen. And then also from the return value pin, from that we're also going to drag off get owning player. We want to know which player this is attached to, so we're going to attach that. And then from the return value here, we're going to set show mouse cursor, right? We want to actually be able to use the mouse in this. So we'll connect that and we'll check this to true. It's a Boolean, we'll set it to true. We'll compile this and we're going to have that error. Once again, this is fine. We have not created our widget yet. We're perfectly good. We're going to do that here soon. If we go back to our lobby map, in our content drawer, we're going to add a new folder. So new folder, let's name this UI. And then in our UI folder, we're going to right click, scroll down to user interface, and then we're going to select widget blueprint. And we want it of the type user widget. And we'll rename this to widget blueprint WBP start menu. Let's go ahead and open that up. And then we're going to, first of this, we're going to add a canvas panel. Let's see if it's there. No. So we just type in canvas, drag the canvas panel in, and then we're going to add a button. So close that. We've already got a button here, so let's just throw the button in. Let's set, let's make it size 500 and then 250. Why not? Ooh, no, that's way too big. Let's just make it 100. That looks better. And then kind of center it. Doesn't need to be perfect, but we'll just kind of put it there. And then let's make our background color Let's make, I don't know, whatever color you want. I want to make it a bluish. That's fine. And then we want to rename the button, which is somewhere over here. Oh, we're just going to rename it here. Up here, we're just going to rename this to host game. Let's leave it as a variable, which is fine, because we're going to use it to for that for tracking when we press it, and then that will change it here, and then let's drag text onto the host game. So here's our text. Drag this down here to host game. Text block. We're going to change the text of this to host new game. I'm going to increase the font size to, I don't know, no, I'm just going to type it in. How about 48? Yeah, let's make it 40. Host new game. That looks good. All right, and then let's add another button. Just drop it here. We'll also make it 500, 100. We're going to call this button join game. We'll leave it as a variable. I'm going to change its color. Oh, I want to change its background color. I'm going to make it a salmonish color. Why not? Join game. And then we're going to, here in a palette, we're going to add one more thing. We're going to add an input. Oh no, sorry. We want an input spot, but it's a text box is what we want. So we'll drop this in. We'll put it down here. Once again, we'll make it 500 by 100. We're going to do hint text here. And we'll just type in server IP, which you can't currently see, so we definitely want to change our background color. Let's make it a darker color. That's good. Server IP. We're going to want our text. Text style font. Let's make that 40 like we had before. Let's see if we can make this a little bit brighter. That's better. And then we'll do one more. We'll just Control D duplicate. Okay, duplicate it. We'll just copy and paste this to join game. And we're going to call this, instead of host new game, we're going to call this join a game. So this is what we're going to use to host the game. This is what we're going to use to join that game. And we're going to, sorry, I'm all over the place. We want to rename our text box. We want this IP information. Making sure it's a variable as well. Okay. Let's compile and save this. So this is going to be our setup. This is going to be what the screen looks like. From within here, we want to click on graph. That's going to take us to the graph. We're going to delete these 3 starter ones. We don't need them. So get rid of those. And then we're going to, on our host game variable here, if we scroll down to onClicked, we'll hit the plus button there, so which is our onClicked host game. We're going to, if we're hosting the game, we don't need to join anything. We're just going to do it. So we're going to first remove all widgets. Right, we don't need the widgets on the our UI on the screen anymore. And then we're going to create a session. We're gonna, from player controller, we're going to get owning. Oh, that is definitely not how you type owning. Get owning player. And then on success, we're going to open level, but we're going to not do by name. So by name is great in testing mode, but we can't use names like this once we build. So this is one of my pet peeves about Unreal. I won't go into it, but we won't use by name. We need to use by object reference, which is fine. And then our level is going to be our level 3rd person. Technically, we could just type this into the by name, but it just doesn't work that way. And then we want to open up our drop down here. We want it to be absolute, and our option is to type in listen. Ooh, goodness. Listen. So once we click on host a game, it's just going to open it up, remove the UI, and start the actual game. So let's compile and save this. Now we're going to next click on the IP information variable, and we're going to select event on text committed. So we have changed or committed. We want committed. And then from our text pin, we're going to drag off. We're going to promote to variable. So that gives us a set. And we want to, instead of calling it text, we want to come over here and change it to server IP address. So what we're typing in that text box is the IP address of the server. So we want to set that to the variable there. And then we're going to compile and save. So we enter it in, that's what we get. And now we'll click on our join a game variable. And then this is going to be once again on clicked event. Right, these are all the options that we have from that first scene. We're going to, like we did before, we're going to remove all widgets. Then we're going to add from here, execute command, or console command. So execute command will bring that up. From specific player, we're going to, as before, get owning player. From command, we're going to drag off and append. This is taking 2 variables and making them into one. Into the A box, we want to type in, and this is where it gets really super important. We want open with a capital O and a space at the end. You have to add that space at the end. If you don't do the space, this will not work. So make sure that you've got the space there, capital O and a space, and then we can drag off our server IP address variable onto it. We'll get a reference to that and attach that to RB. So this is going to tell it to open that server address. Okay, and now from our execute console command, we're going to want to add a delay because we want to actually give it time to work. So we're going to add a delay. We're going to actually make this 4 seconds. So 4. Once again, we want to give it that time to actually make sure that the IP address is correct, that it's able to connect. And then if it connects, then this is going to stop here. If it doesn't connect, we want to actually bring back up the start menu. So we're going to, from complete, add, create widget. This is going to be of the class WBP start menu. And then we want to, from return value, as we've done before, add to viewport, and that will connect that through. Let's compile and save. So if all goes well, great. It's going to just auto execute the command. It's going to delay. If it does the right thing, it's going to go into the next scene, the next level, and then we're good to go. If not, then it's just going to recreate the widget. All right, so now we can go back to our lobby character, and in our class here of the widget, this is where we're going to do our start menu, WBP start menu, as we've done before. We can compile and save that. Now it gets rid of that problem. All right, so we can test to see if this is working. We want to, back in our lobby map, we can go up here to our 3 little dots next to our play. We want to state that the number of players is 2 or 3 or 5, whatever the number you want. And then we can click play mode. We're going to get 1 in our viewport and 1 that's going to open up in another screen, basically. I'm just going to hang it over here. So if we host a new game, bam, there we are. I'm just going to move them out of the way a little bit. And then we can click on join game. Let me actually just minimize this so you can see both. All right, so there's our first one. In join a game, since we're on the same computer, we can type this in. Should be 127.0.0.1. And now if we click join a game, there we are. We see our player and we see our player. So we now have a multiplayer game, both on the same server. Once you build this, escape out of that, that'll close it all. Once you build this, you're going to need to actually type in the actual IP address. You can just do that by going to your command prompt and typing ipconfig, all one word, ipconfig, and you're going to be looking for, I believe it's the the one you will be looking for is the address after the IPv4. I'm not going to show you mine just because this is going out on the internet. We're not going to do that. But that's the one that you're looking for, is the IPv4 address, and that's going to be there as long as you are on the same network. Just as a quick aside on this one, the other thing that you're going to want to do, so when you're building this platform, you're going to click on platform, you're going to go to Windows, package your project. Let's see if it's going to do this. I usually do a build folder. See if it'll give the error or not. Select folder. Probably going to be perfectly fine on this. Good, it failed. So, if it fails, I'm going to guess it is due to one thing and one thing only. And if you scroll up just a little bit, check and see if it's this no valid visual C++ toolchain has found. And so what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have Visual Studio 2022 installed, and then it has to be the x64 version. And so the trick with that is you cannot just download 2022 x64. You need to go to Visual Studio, download 2022, and then you need to go into, let me see if I can pull this up. You need to go into your Visual Studio installer. And so I do have 2022 installed, but you would need to go in and modify it. And then you need to scroll down to gaming and make sure that, so you should have Unity checked. That's what we've, for the most part, always downloaded, right? You want to also check the C++. And so that's going to take up about another six plus gigs. I do not currently have that on my home system where I'm recording this at the moment, so I'm not going to do it. But this is what you would check. Click modify. It's going to go through and load that. And when it loads that, you're going to get the x64 version. And then you can come back in to your platform, to your Unreal, click on the platforms, go in here, package your project, and it actually will build it, as long as that was the only problem. If there are other problems, you're still going to have those problems. But that is one of the big problems that probably many of you will run into. So I hope this helps get that off the ground. I'm going to post another video as well that's going to show some other connection points. It won't be a me video. I'm just going to post a link to it that's going to show you then how to take that multiplayer and expand onto an additional multiplayer, like if you've got other things happening, shooting, that type of stuff. But this at least will allow you to get it built, and then on Monday, tomorrow, I will be, I guess depending on when you watch this, 11/3/2025. If you want specifics, I'll be verifying that we can actually connect over EduRoam in the classroom, and if not, then we'll figure out how we're going to get this to work. So hopefully this helps get you all off the ground with this, and I will see you all tomorrow.